Can't believe all that dirt came out of there from sanding. So what we got going on is we've got the CRE321 where we did all the heavy work. We did 2 really fat coats. And then what we did is we added 20% reducer. We sprayed the rest. And the reason why is so that we can sand out all of the overspray. When you put it on at full thickness, as you saw in the video, there was quite a bit of, and no matter how much I play with my gun, like there's always a little bit of orange peel to it. So now that we've got most of the orange peel out, and here won't matter too much, it seemed to flow out in here, so we'll just do a Scotch-Brite in there. But the idea is when the trunk is open and you look down, like at least it's smooth. So once we came down around here, this is where our 20% was added. Now we did do full strength in all these areas, but then we reduced 20% and painted all the framing. And the reason why, I'm going to try to catch it in the light. You can see how minimal the orange peel is. And that is as flat as we need that to be. So this is why the high build sandable epoxies are kind of nice. I know PPG has one, VP, and I can't remember the 4 numbers. And then you can also get this CRE321, which does this. And I mean, I did have to do, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of sanding up here, mostly because we've got to get in all these weird little areas. And again, you can see where we can't quite get in with the paper, but I'll take a Scotch-Brite red in there and that'll be fine. It's all seam sealed all the way around. We still got to come down this, and here you can see how this is a little bit rougher. So we did come down here with 1 fat coat, but then 1 coat of the thinner stuff, and then another couple of coats of the thinner stuff kind of everywhere. So we do have to make this smooth like we did that. Same with the other side. But all this in the middle, that's all it takes. So it doesn't take a lot of sanding. And there's a lot of product on there. There's a lot of mils of thickness. So like I know no matter how rough I gotta go, I'm not gonna break through. And if I do, there's a couple spots here. This is actually a breakthrough. It's not a low spot. Right here, there's a little breakthrough. And I think right here, but we can hit that with a little bit of our one-step primer and give it a light scuff, and it's ready to paint. So this has got to be nice because we're painting it red like the car with the metallic. I think I said pink in the last video talking about this, but I meant to say red. The whole bottom of this will be red. When Cadillac did these cars, the trunk lid underneath was the same color as the car. However, when they did the hoods were blacked out. So we're just getting this ready. And you can see here how this is all sanded nice and smooth down the edge. That way if we get any overspray or whatever, I mean, I'll hit that with a quick shot of etch primer just to seal up any metal. But we're going to do our red to this edge. And here, I'm not sure if we'll paint this corner red or if we'll just come across this line. I think it might be easier to come across here, maybe cut it off up in here, do that corner red, and then just that underside is blacked out, but we do want in there all blacked out. That seemed to be what Cadillac had there. So the 3-4 paint jobs, or 2 paint jobs, I'll say 2 paint jobs that were on the car, this had never been touched. And then whoever painted the car with that disgusting pink, they kind of oversprayed the bottom of the hood and it was all flaking off. So it sanded off super duper easy. There was a lot of runs and stuff in that black finish from the factory, so we tried to get that out. But anyways, there's a little ding there, but there isn't one in the top, so they must have been filled last time. But at any rate, this has to be a little nicer. So this whole hood was shot with the reduced stuff, with the exception of the front here where we wanted a lot. You can see we're gonna have to sand that a little bit, but most of this we don't really care about the orange peel so much. We're basically gonna sand it relatively smooth, and up in there we'll hit that with a Scotch-Brite. And if there's orange peel, we're not too worried. When it's satin black, it's not gonna show. And whatever we do, it's going to look way better than what they did in 1963. But if you remember in some of the further back videos, the face of the hood had been redone, and we had a lot of pinholes we had to weld shut and whatnot. So we've got 3 layers on the front edge while we did the bottom, and we shot that at full strength, or I should say full thickness. So there's a lot of material on there, which is great. We're going to be able to block that out nice, but it'll also seal up everything in there. We are going to run a thin bead of seam sealer in here, and we're going to push it right in, because we don't want to have the crack, but we do want to have that line there so it still has that original look. And again, if it were me, I'd weld that shut and run it as one piece, but the owner wants it to look like it did, so it's a bit of a compromise. We'll seal it up so junk don't get in there and rust it away, but at the same time we'll still have that line. Then of course the top of the trunk's still got to have some work done on it and whatnot. But yeah, so it's a really good product. I highly recommend it. Now that I use it a lot. I pretty much don't use much of anything else. Thanks for watching. Cheers.